Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan Proft here. To paraphrase a Stanley Kubrick film, maybe we've moved into the phase of Dr. Trump, How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bombing of Iran. You see what I did there? Gallup survey on data across a range of national issues from the economy to the environment, from healthcare to homelessness. Lydia Saad reporting for Gallup. Americans concerned about national issues have generally declined from a year ago. Declined. Amid all of this agitprop and hysteria and no king's histrionics and end of days, end of the republic, democracy's imperiled. After all that, and America's concerns about national issues have generally declined from a year ago. The average share worried a great deal across the 16 issues fell to 43% this year, down from 46% in March of last year. It's the lowest average concern Gallup has found since 2020, just as the COVID pandemic was starting. Wow. Who would have guessed that people would be less anxious? I guess they're tuned out to so much of the performance art of the left. That's the good news. The other good news is that some of the survey data coming out now with an eye towards the midterms, and it's a long way to go. I get it. But that goes in both directions. You know, nothing is inexorable except death. So across the big issues that are animating people's votes, despite what you see, you know, the generic ballot, Republicans are down 3, 4, 5 points, which is margin of error, most of these surveys, by the way. On some of the big issues like who do you trust most on border security? Who do you trust most on national security? Who do you trust most on affordability? Republicans actually have the edge. So I wouldn't run around waving the surrender flag quite yet with respect to control of Congress and thus the future of President Trump's agenda after November of this year. Trying to be optimistic because last week Steve Moore was such a downer, talking about recessions and things like this. Terrible. He joins us now in happier times, particularly after the market's response to the prospect that hostilities would be ending in the Middle East in the next couple of weeks. Economist, author of The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity, again, co-author with Art Laffer. Stephen, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan. Good to be with you. By the way, I have decided that I've been wrong all these years, and we do need to tax the rich. April Fool!
Oh, yeah, I forgot it's April 1st. Thank God I was getting concerned there was...
The budget.
Yeah, I was concerned there might have been like a Tucker Carlson moment for you or something.
Exactly.
So have you gotten that ugly R word out of your mouth now that Trump is going to address the nation tonight about, I assume, the exit strategy from Iran?
Well, is the R word recession or?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Look, I think that I was looking at the data back all the way to the 1970s with oil prices, and people, a little history lesson here. You know, when Nixon, Ford, and Carter were presidents, especially Carter, the oil price went up, and in inflation-adjusted terms, it went a lot higher than it is even today, almost twice as high. And so, Reagan came in. And we deregulated oil. We got rid of the windfall profits tax, by the way, something Democrats want now, a windfall profits tax, which we tried in the 70s, and let the free market work. And the oil price, we had the biggest decline in oil prices in American history during the Reagan years. And so I believe that when we get this, the Straits of Hormuz open, we're going to see the oil price fall almost as quickly as it rose in March. I mean, March was a terrible month. We saw commodity prices across the board rise 25%. The oil price rose almost 75%. And so this will pass, and we will see we're going to be back to $3 a gallon gas, in my estimation, sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And so yeah, that is good news. And the combination of that with the impact of, and frankly, per your Unleash Prosperity newsletter, the impact of and the awareness of the impact of the big beautiful bill. Yes.
Yeah, so this is an amazing thing. I was even surprised by the polling data on this. So if you ask people, do you favor the Trump big beautiful bill? Oh no, that was a big tax cut for the rich. No, I don't support that. About 2/3 say I don't really support that. And then you say, by the way, you got a $2,500 tax cut. Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so, right.
So
yes.
People are not aware. Yeah. The Republicans are terrible communicators sometimes, and they have to tell people. Hey, you're getting a tax cut. If you're getting tips, you're getting a tax cut. If you're getting a Social Security benefit, you're getting a tax cut. If you work overtime, you're getting a tax cut. If you're a business investing in new plant and equipment, you get a tax cut. So it is a bit of a communications problem for the Republicans that a lot of Americans don't even realize that their taxes have been cut. And I was on, believe it or not, CNN the other night, and against some commie liberal Democrat from Washington State, and she was saying, calling it the big ugly bill. I said, well, look, you voted against this. You voted to raise everybody's taxes this year by $2,500, and of course, she didn't have any response to that.
Yeah, and so it's more the impact that'll be felt, and starting with refund season right now.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Although a lot of Americans have already seen just less money this year. When we're entering the fourth month of the year, already people are starting to notice, hey, my paycheck's a little bigger now. Well, that's because you're having less money withheld from the IRS. Take a look at your paycheck.
Yeah. I wanted to get to your reaction to the J.D. Vance and this benefits fraud task force that he's riding point on. There is yet another investigation. I mean, it's really going to get frustrating if we just continue to see these reports by anybody who can FOIA a list of, say, hospice providers and go knock on doors and expose the fraud, and we get a handful of prosecutions surrounding one phony nonprofit in Minneapolis and not much else. But here's the Fox News Channel following up on Nick Shirley to do their own investigation of hospice fraud in California with a little help from a Republican assemblywoman there. Take a listen.
Suspected hospice fraud in L.A.
I did not see a single person coming in or out of the building.
Neither did we in January.
Lots of offices, but no people.
3 floors, no employees or patients. Yet look at the dozens of providers licensed at this one address. 5 years ago, state auditors flagged this location for potential fraud. They say they found non-working phones, locked doors, and stolen Medicare numbers.
In L.A. County, California, 89 hospice companies are registered to a single address.
Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill say California's weak oversight helped perpetuate fraud. A charged Democratic governor.
Obviously, I go back to this all the time, Steve, and you'll appreciate this as a native Illinoisan. When Jimmy John Leotude left Illinois for Florida, moved Jimmy John's corporate headquarters to Florida, yes, he said, the thing about Illinois that really upsets me, paraphrasing him, it's not the taxes I pay. I've been very fortunate. I've been successful. I'm happy to pay taxes. The thing that bothers me is the money I pay doesn't go for what they say it's going to go for. They're frauding me. They're treating me like a chump. And that's what all of this benefits fraud is writ large. And I think it really imperils a lot of these blue state politicians. And to me, this could be sort of a Republican secret weapon if they can get their hands around it to provide some accountability across the country.
Yeah, so I have a couple of responses on this. First of all, I mean, Dan, you and I are old enough to remember back when 60 Minutes was the most popular TV show. And remember, they used to do all those sting operations, and they'd discover they'd have somebody dressed up in Arab, and they'd find these crazy things that these people were doing and defrauding the American public. Where is that? Who does? They don't even do that kind of thing anymore. And so now you got this guy Shirley, who, with maybe a couple $1,000s, is going out and doing these sting operations and exposing the fraud. And he's the villain.
Yeah.
How dare he knock on the doors of these fraudulent daycare centers? How dare he do? I saw this one congressman the other day saying, "Oh, the daycare centers are so afraid somebody's going to knock on their door." And so that's because there's no kids here. My point is, my point is that the left doesn't even. They don't even want to know about the fraud. You would think it used to be in the olden days, when we were younger, Dan, that liberals believed in good government, and we thought they were a little naive. Now they don't even believe in good government. They just want big government. They just want big, flabby government, and they don't care if there's fraud. It's really enraging. I mean, they want to put this guy Shirley in jail, not the people who are stealing your money. The people are exposing them. That's how bad it has gotten in Washington. Now, one reason, by the way, that the fraud is such an epidemic is because states like Illinois and California and New York and Minnesota want fraud. You know why they want the fraud? Because all the money is coming from the federal government, so they view this as a stimulus to their economy. I'm serious. That's their attitude about this. Yeah, well, the more fraudulent people we have, the more criminals we have stealing money from the federal taxpayers, the better it is for Chicago and New York and Los Angeles. It's crazy.
Yeah, but my point is to say that there's still a lot of people that at least pretend to care about good government, as you were saying, and some independents maybe that are not so ideological or not so craven as Gavin Newsom, who actually do. And I think this is the kind of stuff that rubs reasonable people the wrong way, even if you're not a Trump fan, which is why I just say, they can demonize Nick Shirley all they want, but the substance is the substance. When you get punchlines like the Quality Learning Center, that pierces through whatever propaganda Tim Walz or Gavin Newsom is spreading. It's not going to work for them as long as Republicans stay on this and J.D. Vance and Dr. Oz and company actually produce some results.
Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, you would hope that everybody would agree that we should. And not only should we expose the fraud, and not only should we get the money back, these people have to go to jail. I mean, look, this is stealing. This is theft. This is theft of millions and millions of dollars from the American taxpayers, probably billions of dollars. Trump says it could be $1 trillion of fraud. You got to put these people in jail. They're stealing. I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but
no, that's right.
Yeah, you have no kids.
Of course.
I mean
what cold-hearted about? I mean, I'm sorry, you stole $500,000 from the government, and you're going to go to jail. I don't think that's cold-hearted. I think it's respectful of people who are playing by the rules. But before we let you go, this 401k change, the Trump administration has initiative to give people more flexibility with their investment choices. Explain.
Well, right now you're really limited when you have a 401k and how you can invest in it. You can invest it in like Dow Jones stocks and so on. But a lot of the money is being made these days in private equity and other alternative investments. And look, I do think 401ks should be, a range of different kinds of investments. You don't want to put all your money in the roulette wheel, but this is going to help add to the value of people's 401ks if they can invest in some of these companies that have huge amounts of return at early stage investment and so on. So it's a good thing. It means your 401k will grow faster. You're going to have a portfolio that is still going to be very diversified, but why not allow people to invest in some of the things that have the highest return? So bravo to Trump on that. It's good. And I have to sort of end this conversation and say the most important thing, though, is we have to let every young American under the age of 35 take 12% of their paycheck and stop sending it into the black hole of Social Security and let them actually invest the money. If they, the average Social Security benefit for someone like me who just turned 65 is going to be $300,000 over their lifetime. $300,000. If they had invested that money in an index fund over the last 40 years, they wouldn't have $300,000 in their account. They'd have $1 million in their account.
Yeah, and especially with the jumpstart you're getting with the Trump accounts now.
Exactly.
Just all the more. Steve Moore, economist, author of The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity. Again, thank you as always, Steve.
Thanks, Dan.
And Steve joins us on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS.